Hey, if you're watching this video, it's because you have decided to sell your home, which is a huge decision and not an easy one to come to. But now that you've decided it's time to sell, there's probably a handful of questions you're asking yourself, like, how much is my home worth and how much am I going to see at the end of the day? How long is it going to take to sell my house? And what are the things that I need to do to my house before we put it on the market in order for us to get top dollar? And should I have a real estate agent? And if so, well, what are the things that I should be looking for in that agent? And on top of all of those big questions you're having to sort through, you also have this swirl of emotions that are popping up out of nowhere because selling a house is a big deal. And that's the thing I've seen time and time again with all the clients that I've worked with is selling a house is generally precipitated by some major life change. Whether that's your family is growing or you've got kids that are moving out or you've got a job change, whatever it is, it's usually something big, which means there's a lot going on within your mind, within your heart, and you need somebody who's going to be able to guide you through to answer the big questions, as well as kind of help you with your emotions and the ups and downs that are associated with selling your home. If you're new to this channel, my name is Nick Offenkamp. I'm the leader of the Tartan Team, and we are part of Real Broker, the most incredible brokerage in the United States and beyond, frankly. And I serve the Clark County area, Clark County, Washington, best place in the world to live. And what we're here to do, what sets us apart from all the other agents out there, at least most of them, is that we are here to provide as stress-free and as enjoyable of a real estate transaction as possible. Whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you're looking to invest, we are here for you. And if you're not in my market, well, that's okay. I'd still love to hear from you, and I still expect that this video will provide value for you as you consider all that's required to sell your house and get top dollar. Now, I know as I listed off all the things that we're going to cover here, the last one I mentioned is having yourself a good real estate agent. It's a question for a lot of people. Should I have an agent or should I sell my house for sale by owner? Agents are expensive, right? You've got to pay them a commission, generally a percentage of the total sales price, and that can be a fair amount of money. And so a lot of folks think, well, I'll just sell it myself, stick up a sign in the yard, put it online, and surely my home is amazing. People are going to want to buy it. And while that may be the case, in general, for sale by owners do not do nearly as well. For one, they don't get nearly as many eyeballs, which means they don't get as many showings, which means they don't get as many offers, which means they don't generally get top dollar. There's also kind of, most people have hesitancy to trust for sale by owner. They view it as a very complicated process and you don't have sort of that third party of trust and some of the legal structures, the laws of agency that are around that for your protection. And then finally, most for sale by owners just don't really know how to market their home. And they stand out when you're looking on Zillow or Redfin or one of those sites because they're often the ones that, have the photos where everything's still kind of cluttered. It looks like lady just walked around her house with a camera from like a 2006 iPhone and then uploaded those. That's not going to do it when it comes to getting top dollar for your home, nor having it sell quickly. So I do recommend having a realtor, and I recommend having a very, very good one because everyone has like the third cousin that kind of sort of does real estate on the side, and they can get your home on the MLS and they'll do it on the cheap. But in real estate, you get what you pay for. And so it's far better to go with a all-in, full-time, high-performing agent that knows the latest and greatest when it comes to marketing your home to get as many eyeballs on it as possible so that it sells for as much money and as quickly as possible. And I'm telling you that the difference that you're going to pay in commission between your budget third cousin and a top performing real estate agent that few $1,000s, most likely what it is going to pale in comparison to the tens of thousands of extra dollars that you're going to gain by having your home marketed extremely well, having it all professionally done. So how do you pick a real estate agent? Well, I just knocked your third cousin. I don't recommend going with him unless he's like a top performer in the area. Rather, what I recommend that you do is look online at who's really active in your area. Look on YouTube, like how you found this video, or better yet, ask some of your friends, family members who recently sold a home and see who had the best experience with their real estate agent. I'd pick 2 or 3 from your local area that you're really drawn to and seem like they're successful in the business, and interview them. Get to know them, ask about their marketing plan, get a feel for who you like working with the best, because yes, the marketing is super important, but like I mentioned, all those emotions swirling around, you've got to have somebody that you trust, somebody that you can unpackage those things with, and somebody that you know is going to keep your best interests at heart, and they're going to lead you honestly with integrity. They're going to treat you the same way that they would treat their mom. They're going to take care of you. So interview a few different realtors and make your decision on who you think is going to do the best job and who you connect with best of all. Now, that top level agent, they're going to guide you through all the rest of the questions that you have swirling around in your head. That's one of the beautiful things that I have. I've got tons of tools and calculators, access to different tax records. I can estimate exactly what your payoff is for your loan, how much equity you have in your home. I'll run a full comparative market analysis to tell you, here's what your home ought to sell for based upon the comps around you, based upon what's recently sold, the way that the market is trending. I'll be able to show you even approximate closing costs so that you have a net of what you're gonna walk away from the closing table with. All of those things I'm going to be able to help you run. I'm also going to be able to give you real-time, accurate information about days on the market. Of course, everyone wants their house to sell opening weekend. I want that for you too. But as the market ebbs and flows, sometimes that's realistic, and sometimes it's more realistic that the home is going to take 30 to 40 days. And setting those expectations up front in an honest, straightforward way is going to help you a ton. You don't want to have an agent who is just, tickling your ears with information that you want to hear, telling you that your house is going to sell for $50,000 over what all the other comps are, and that it's going to do it in the opening weekend with 20 offers, no contingencies. That's a red flag if anybody is just telling you those things, unless of course you've got a very, very special house and they've got really good reasons for why they're giving you that information. But what you actually want is an agent who knows the market and who's going to be honest with you, who's going to level set expectations to prevent you from being disappointed, as well as to give you realistic numbers to work with, because most likely, again, big life changes generally come before or are part of the decision to sell your home. And so knowing how much money you're going to walk away from your home with and how you can deploy that money in whatever the next step in your life is, it's really important, and you don't want to overestimate that. If anything, you want to be a bit conservative. A good agent recognizes that. They're going to help you work through all of those numbers and give you as accurate of a picture as possible up front of what you can expect in the sales process. Now, marketing the home is a big, big deal, and this is where great agents separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Great agents know that it is worth spending top dollar and putting tons of time, energy, effort into marketing your home as best as they possibly can. And what that means for me is that I'm going to do a lot of media. Certainly professional photos. That should be a given of every single real estate agent in 2024 and beyond. If any real estate agent is still going with a point and shoot, or worse, their phone and taking pictures, I personally think they should have their license revoked. That's my hot take on the issue. Every listing needs to have professional photos, but that's just the starting place. There's also things like the Matterport 3D tours. Now, whether or not you've ever used a Matterport 3D tour, whether or not you think it's cool, the reality is that the more things you have like a 3D virtual tour, the more information it gives potential buyers, and the more syndication sites like Zillow prefer your listing and will boost it in the search over others because they want to show off those kind of features. I'm also going to do very high quality video tours of your home, some of them with me in it, highlighting the features, the things that I want potential buyers to know, telling the story of your home to help them fall in love with it, as well as videos that are without me that just show off all of its unique features, that show off the property in its best possible light. Of course, we're going to get aerial drone photos and videos, and we're going to put all of that together and we're going to plaster it all over the internet, social media and on YouTube and anywhere where beautiful houses can be found. We are going to get it out there so that we can create as much buzz and get as much attention on your home as we possibly can. Because as I've mentioned earlier in this video, more eyeballs on your house leads to more showings, and the more showings you have, the more likely you are to receive offers, and the more offers you receive, the better purchase price and the better terms and the more security you have that the sale is actually going to go through and close. So going the distance and getting all of the top level, top quality media, it is invaluable when it comes to listing your home. Now, part of this media is having your home professionally staged. And that can look like a few different things. Now, if it's a vacant home, then of course, we're gonna have to bring some furniture in. And in that case, I account for that in our conversation about commission and compensation, because these are expenses that I take on personally, all of the media. And if we need to do staging, that's something that I'm going to cover as well, because I want my incentives to be aligned with yours, which is to sell your home for top dollar. So I've got connections with an amazing professional stager. She can come in and bring in furniture if we need it, but she's also wonderful at working with what you already have. So if you're living in your home, then I schedule a consult with her where she's going to spend several hours with you, going through your house and pointing at all of the different things that can either stay or that need to be removed before photos and showings. And the real goal here is to depersonalize your house as much as possible so that potential buyers can envision themselves in it. There's also some psychology that goes into how the house is arranged, because when you think about it, when people tour a house, it's a very unnatural kind of thing. It's not like when you have family or friends over and they're walking in one by one, and as they come into the house, one goes into the living room and the other goes to catch up with your wife in the kitchen. Instead, when people are touring a house, it's usually 2 or 3 people because they're coming with their agent and they're all kind of standing close together, moving in a little huddle room by room. Changes their experience of the house quite a bit, which good staging takes these unnatural patterns into account so that as groups move through your home, the different viewing angles, if you will, are the best possible angles that they can have. They move furniture and arrange things such so that the house feels as open and spacious as possible, even when people are moving through in little clusters together. So the staging piece is huge. It's something that I do on every listing, unless it's a very special extenuating circumstance where a seller just won't have it. But I really recommend it because it is something that helps people envision themselves in the home, fall in love with it, make that emotional connection that is again going to drive top dollar once they make an offer on your house. So once we've got the staging and the photography and we've gotten your home online, it goes live. Well, that's again just the start. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to canvas your neighborhood with beautiful postcards showing off your home, letting everybody know that your home is listed, here's how much it's been listed for, and let them know that, hey, this is one of the coolest opportunities that you have to pick your new neighbors. So who do you know that wants to live here? We tap into their whole social network. And again, that's because one of the best ways of finding a buyer is through that word of mouth referral. And so we want to tap into everybody who is around you. And we go the next level where we don't just give them a postcard, but we invite them to come to open houses on that opening weekend. And people say, well, what's the point in having an open house where just a bunch of my neighbors are going to come through? Well, here's the point. It creates a lot of activity and buzz around your house because while your house may be filled with 5, 6 neighbors, there could be one potential buyer that's also come at that same time. And what they're gonna feel like is, man, this is the home to have. Everybody's here. They're not gonna know that all of the other folks that are in the house at that time are just neighbors who are, curious and nosy. No, they're gonna think that everybody around them is a prospective buyer, and so they're gonna wanna get their offer in as quick as possible because they see the home as something that's highly desirous and something that other people are potentially competing for. So these are all little things that we want to lean into, again, because the goal is to help you sell your home as quickly as possible for as much money as possible, because you've invested a lot into your home, and that's my job, is to honor that and help you realize your home's full potential. One of the things I didn't mention earlier, but I get questions about a lot is, well, what if my home needs some repairs or needs some updating? Well, that's another area where I'm going to give you my expert opinion on, hey, these floors look really worn and there's going to be issues for potential buyers based upon the flooring here. Now, I know it's an extra $3,000 to redo the flooring in this room, but I can tell you if I think that that's going to be worth it. And I've got contractors and connections, and I can help you in that whole process to just assess, okay, am I going to have the return on investment for different improvements that you can make to your house? And if there are other things where it's like, yeah, that might need to be fixed, but that's not going to turn off a potential buyer, that's not going to be a deal breaker, well, I get to let you know those things as well so that you can have a lot more peace of mind and not, work yourself down to the bone trying to fix every little tiny thing on the house, or worse, focus on all of the wrong things, fixing everything that's small while, missing the giant hole in the drywall in the living room. That's an exaggeration, but you get what I mean. So I'll walk you through all of those steps so that your house shows as beautifully as possible. And then once those offers start coming in, well, that's where it gets real fun. And that's where we get to go through them together. We get to look at how close we were in my estimates for your seller net versus, hopefully you've gotten offers even above the list price so that that number that you're netting increases. I'll help you determine how qualified a buyer is. If there's multiple offers, I'll help you weigh the pros and cons to each one. And then at the end of the day, the decision is yours. Who do you want to sell your house to? I'll give you my best advice, my takes, but that's an exciting part of the process, is that you get to choose. And then once you have selected your buyer and come to terms on the final agreement, well, then I walk you through the whole rest of the escrow process, which frankly is pretty painless. From the time that you have your home in contract, it's generally about 30 to 40 days until the house closes. There may be some questions about home inspections and negotiations there. I'll create another video that as a seller, you can check that out. What do I expect with a home inspection, and how should my realtor serve me during that period? That's a whole nother topic. So I'll create a video that's just for that, but at a very high level, once you've decided to sell your home, these are the things that you're going to be thinking through. Real quick, what are the steps? So you've decided to sell your home, hire a realtor. Hire a top-notch, top-performing realtor who you love and who you connect with, who you trust and want to work with. And then from there, put your realtor to work. Have them get going on putting together a seller net sheet and a comparative market analysis to give you a good, realistic idea of how much your home should sell for and how quickly it's going to sell for. And then you're going to get to work on staging. That is depersonalizing, decluttering, setting up furniture with the help of my professional stager. You're going to make some light repairs, or if there is anything major, we'll go over that together and talk about the return on investment. From there, the house goes live. And again, you turn it over to your realtor who's going to do their best job with marketing it. And if it's me, I'm holding open houses. I'm creating a buzz by passing out postcards to everybody in your neighborhood, letting them know this is an incredible home. It's for sale, and you need to help me find somebody who's going to buy it. There's a lot there. If you have questions, hey, all you got to do is look down in the description below. All of my contact information is right there, or you can leave a comment. I'm going to reply to every comment that I receive. If you've got questions that I didn't answer about what's required when it comes to listing your home, I want to hear them. I want to make sure that I'm providing value to you. So leave a comment, get in touch with me through the links in the description below, and I hope we get to work together. It would be so much fun. I would be delighted to help you sell your house in as stress-free of a way as possible, netting you as much money as possible. If you're interested in that, definitely worth at least a 15-minute phone call to connect, and you can set that up just using the Calendly link in the description below. All right, y'all, that's all I've got for you today. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe so that you don't miss any follow-up videos or other valuable content related to buying and selling real estate. All right, y'all, bye.